Dear children, from the previous videos, hope you understood the evolution of tax around the world even before the birth of Christ. Now we are going to navigate the developments of taxation in our own country. The word tax first appeared in the English language only in the 14th century. It derives from the Latin word taxare, which means to access. As we have seen earlier, many taxes, particularly the income tax, was first introduced in Great Britain in 1798. Tax, in simple terms, is the money that one has to pay to the government so that it can provide public services. The system of taxation has been in existence about 2300 years ago. The present system of taxation in India is based on the ancient tax system, which can be traced back to Manusmriti, the ancient book of laws penned by the sage Manu, and Arthasastra, Kaudilya's famous treatise on economics. During the Sultanate period, the Sultans of Delhi introduced Jagirdar system. The same system was followed by Mughals, Rajputs, Sainis, Sikhs, and even by British. In the Mughal period, Akbar introduced Japti system in 1580. The Maratha king Chhatrapati Shivaji abolished Jagirdari Jamindari system and introduced Chauth tax. The kings who ruled our countries way back collected taxes in order to do good for the people. The kings collected taxes in such a way that do not feel the pinch of paying taxes. Sir James Wilson, who was the finance minister during the British rule, introduced the income tax in India in 1860 for meeting the laws of the Sepoy Mutiny in 1857. In 1886, license tax was converted into IT Act. In 1916, graduated rates of taxation on income above 2000 was introduced. Super tax was introduced in 1917. New IT Act of 1918 was passed in the year 1918. In 1919, Act of imposing duty on excess profits included. Later, in 1920, it was abolished. Indian Income Tax Act of 1922 was passed in the year 1922. Between 1939 and 1956, the Income Tax Act of 1922 was amended 29 times. Capital gains tax was introduced in 1946. Wealth Tax Act and Expenditure Tax Act were enacted in 1957 and Gift Tax Act in 1958. In consultation with the Ministry of Law, the present Income Tax Act 1961 was passed in 1961 and came into force from 1st April 1962 onwards. It applies to the whole of India and Sikkim, including Jammu and Kashmir. Every year, the amendments in the Act are made based on the finance bill which is presented at the time of Union Budget. The present tax system also focuses on the theory of maximum social welfare. Taxes in India are levied by the central government and state government. Example, income tax, GST is levied by the central government, whereas stamp duty and property tax is levied by the state government. Few minor taxes are taxed by the local authorities like municipalities too. Taxes are the largest source of income for the government. Tax payment is not optional. It is mandatory for the citizens of India to pay relevant taxes. Hope you enjoyed learning the development of taxation in India. In the next video, we will go through the tax structure in India, types of taxes, and heads of income.